Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, cause Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got both Sherman and Slothy with me. Sherman, how you doing?
Good, little stuffed up due to allergies and hay fever. Hurrah! It's that time of season again, so how about you?
I'm good. Flowers are actually out, so I'm happy I don't have the flowers allergy. It's, so many people right now sneezing, stuffed up, everything. Just good time of the year when everything's blooming, right?
Yeah, good time for sure.
Good time if you're not the one sneezing. No, I'm good. I had a busy week, but it was a good one. And Slothy, what do you got going on?
Not too much. It was a fairly busy week until Thursday, and then everything just kind of grinded to a halt. Which kind of sucks, just standing around yesterday at work. But what can you do?
Yeah, because it's not like you're actually getting a break. You still have to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just got to be there in the sweltering heat, dying but not doing anything.
Yeah, just standing around looking pretty.
I get that.
Yeah, not much else. I was able to get into school for September, which is exciting.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you get a little bit of time off when you're doing the school stuff?
Yeah, I'll get the 2 months off.
That's pretty sweet. I had the longest sleep I think I've had. I was just saying earlier. I think it was the longest sleep I've had in probably a year, and it was a good one. But I was up last night building decks. The Final Fantasy stuff's right around the corner, so I was just going through collections, building, because that's what I do. I have a problem, and it made me really excited to talk about this stuff because there's a lot of things I hadn't seen yet. Right, I was just doing a quick scroll. I was like, I got to build this legend. So I'm pretty excited to talk about these spoilers today. We always kind of go a little long on spoilers, so I say we just quickly jump into it. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who's on Patreon. It is a very, very cool place to be. I really appreciate and like seeing the decks everyone builds on Patreon. So thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon. It really, really is great. If you don't want to come over there, there's always like, share, subscribe. It does really, really help us out. And with this set coming out, you're going to want a discount. I'm going to tell you that right now. These are expensive cards. These are real expensive cards. I was looking at doing some Vivi pre-orders. Not anymore. No. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to go over to our lovely houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99 to get that discount, because that is the set is just like full of really, really cool legends. And it's very like it's collectible, right? It's going to be collectible for a long time. There's Final Fantasy fans, kind of like Warhammer fans, right? They're typical for buying whatever the collector merchandise is. So there's a lot of people I personally know that don't play Magic, but have bought like the Commander decks. And I think there's even, I was going to say, I think there's even a set of like, is there the foil Commander decks for this one too? I bet those are real expensive.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw it was like $3,000, and I stopped looking at it.
Yeah, someone was saying that they're selling for like 1,700-1,800 US sold out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's looking to be a popular set. I generally speaking don't really like the Universe Beyond stuff, but there are some that seem like they're good hits. Like Lord of the Rings was undoubtedly a hit. This also appears to be that. From everything I've seen from people who actually like and play Final Fantasy, it looks like a lot of the characters are like true to their nature, that they're represented well, that there's like really cool artwork. Like a lot of people seem very, very happy with this set. So yeah, again, promo code IT99, houseofcards.ca. You're gonna find a great discount for all these singles you want. And then last but not least, AI Armor. Throw these in AI Armor sleeves. They are wonderful. Let's jump into the Commander spoilers, because this is wild. I also see always on Scryfall, you can see the cost to buy each card, 6,245 as singles right now.
Yeah, but that's the different version of singles as well, right? So if you want like all 5 copies of the first Commander here,
I guess that's fair, but that's still a big number. Who wants to start us off with this? Because I don't. Were you saying?
Sorry. Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize that there were 5 copies of some of these beforehand.
Yeah, right.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start our first one. Is it Celis or Celis or Celis?
Celeste.
All right, okay. We've got a Celeste Rune Knight. 1, a red, a white, a black. This is a 4/4 human wizard knight legendary. When it enters, discard any number of cards, then draw that many +1. Okay, I like that. So you don't have to wheel stuff away, but you can. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one of them entered from a graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, 1/1 counter on each you control. So you've got a discard outlet for a reanimator built into the command zone. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when this, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say like the moment this was spoiled, everyone already saw the infinite combo potential. Like there's so many infinite combos that are from this set. It's kind of crazy, actually.
Well, it's pretty easy to World Gorger Dragon loop this deck.
Yeah, like everyone's like doing the persist like aristocrat stuff because you're in black as well. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Macias also goes.
Yeah. So, but like this is just easier.
I like it. Who wants to take our next one?
Sure. Next up, we've got Cloud X Soldier, 2 and Naya for a 4/4 legendary human soldier mercenary with haste. When Cloud enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it, and whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens.
That's decent.
I quite like this one, and I like how much, because I have seen the deck list for this one, I like how much you can kind of mix and match this and the dog meat equipment precon.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool. I'm a big fan of the equipment theme, like Boros style, having access to green. That ramp is kind of big.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice if they tried something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the green added.
Well, yeah, because I'm just seeing I'm seeing straight out exactly like you said. Well, we get another Mardu precon, we get another Naya equipment precon, right? But that's okay.
That's all fine.
Wow, there's a lot of versions of Cloud. Oh, there's like 5 of each. Okay,
it's gonna start storming soon.
There you go.
Lots of Cloud.
Yeah, someone have fun with that name.
Yeah, so we got 2 more reprints there, and then we have this next one. It's Graha Kia Scion Reborn. So it's a white, blue, black legendary creature, Pet Wizard. It's a 2/3. It has lifelink. It has the ability Throw Wide the Gate, which is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X is that spell's mana cost. If you do, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token and put +1/+1 counters on it. Do this only once each turn.
That's interesting. I could see that being fun. A life lost, life gain kind of deck.
Yeah.
Surely I can't make another deck where I soul conduit things. Surely 2 of them is enough. I like this. Yeah, peer into the abyss, lose half my life, but have 1 big thick soldier.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. Oh, that Luminous Broodmoth reprint is very cool looking.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad they reprinted that.
Rise of the Dark Realm, Sun Titan. Those are all great looking reprints with new arts. We have Terra, Herald of Hope. This is the alternate commander for the Mardu precon, I assume. This is a red, white, black for a 3/3 human wizard warrior. Beginning of combat on your turn, you mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. Whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you can pay 2. When you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. It has the built-in evasion and built-in reanimate. I'm a big fan of that. And like Tiny Leaders is a fun format still, right? So like everything in Tiny Leaders 3 CMC or less. So easy Tiny Leaders commander for anyone who does play that kind of stuff. But I just anything that's like low creature like that, you can really, really flood the board with, right? And you've got the black, you've got lots of things that just throw with themselves away, bring back. I think this could be a fun deck to build.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I like the artworks on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the anime artwork is really nice.
I do kind of wish they'd gone with the Commander Master's profile for the alternate art.
I think what they did here is good.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Next up here, we've got Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, is Bant for a 3/3 legendary human warrior. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second target creature you control. And whenever 1 or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and proliferate. Do this only once each turn.
I like this a lot.
You know what?
I think this could be fun.
I would make a deck with nothing but finality counters.
I was just about to say that.
You guys are both mean. you guys are both so mean.
Okay. Never.
That's funny.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Wow.
But like,
Is this?
it's also interesting because you have the new creature sagas, right? So now you can also move like chapters over.
Yeah, I do like that. I want my sagas to trigger endlessly. No more. I like this chapter a lot. It does this Titus. If I hit 3 players, does that work, or does it do this only once a turn? Kind of stables it to one. This is written weirdly. I think we talked about this before.
Just once.
Okay. All right. I like Titus less, but the art is very cool.
Yeah.
We did Tifa. Sherman made a cool deck about it.
Yeah. So Tifa martial artist. Gonna be a 1 in a black, green, and white human monk 4/4. It has melee. So melee once again. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. For each opponent you attack this combat. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deals combat damage to a player, untap all creatures you control. In the first combat phase of your turn, there is an additional combat phase after this phase.
I do have to quickly say, we did get corrected in the comments that it's melee, not melee, and they were very adamant that we're making their ears bleed with our mispronunciation.
Oh, melee, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, melee. I'm sorry.
Melee.
I'm gonna keep saying melee. They're like Smash Brothers Melee. I was like, I call it Smash Brothers Melee. What are we talking about? But yes, anyways, carry on with your Tifa talk.
No, I don't know I have to double check the ruling, but like we also had the problem last time where like how many combats you would get, because if you hit 3 people, would you get only 1 or would you get 3 because of it? Some people say it.
Oh no, this you would get 3 more.
Yeah, so
I like this. I really like the Tifa art too. I guess I'm not calling them the profile art because that's not what they are, but I do like this profile-ish art. You know what I'm talking about, Slothy?
Yeah.
It's not horrendous. It's not Aether Drift yellow, but it's nice.
Yeah, no, these ones are definitely a lot nicer than some of the alternate arts they've been, or some of the alternate art styles rather, that they've been putting out recently.
Yeah, right.
I wonder what it would have been like. All of these like profile ones are like the artworks. They look like they're like designed for the set and everything. I wonder if it would have been like if the people would have liked, or like the fans would have liked the original artwork, concept artwork for them instead. Because I think that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a
few. Then you would probably have like Yoshitaka Mono art, like artists, like everywhere.
I think it's you now, Slothy.
Sure. Yeah, next up we've got Y'shtola, Knights Blessed, 1 and Esper for a 2/4 legendary cat warlock with vigilance. At the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life.
I love this card.
Yeah, this one's quite cool.
I think it's very cool.
I like the live brew we did where we did like all the bobbleheads.
Yeah, the bobblehead Y'shtola was fun. I liked that a lot. I love live brew and stuff. We have a Yuna Grand Summoner here. 1 and Bant. We've got a green, white, blue. 1/5 human cleric. Grand Summon, tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast a creature spell this turn, that creature enters with 2 additional 1/1s. That's an awesome ability. Whenever another permanent you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, if it had 1 or more 1/1 counters on it, you may put that number of 1/1 counters on target creature. I like that a lot. That's a very cool commander.
Yeah, I kind of want to build this commander. It's really good.
I really like having a pseudo mana dork in the command zone, right?
Yeah. So it's mana dork with benefit.
I like that. I really like the artwork of all of these like full art ones. They've all been cool. I have not seen one I don't like.
Yeah, all these main commander ones, they're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, now we're getting into the stuff that's not the main like base commanders and everything. So first one we have here is Eris, Last Ancient, or 2 and a green and a white human cleric druid. 3/5. Wow. Has lifelink. She has rage. So at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you gain 7 or more life this turn, Return that card to the battlefield instead. Hey, that's really good.
It's pretty cool.
Big booty Aerith does seem fun to build.
I like how they keep on throwing the number 7 for Final Fantasy 7 character.
Is that what it is? I kept seeing the number 7, but I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, so sorry. We have Final Fantasy 6, which over here would have been Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of history behind that. They have like Final Fantasy 7 for like Cloud and whatnot, and then like 10 for like Tidus and like Yuna, and then Yushitola, and like the other one that's gonna be Final Fantasy 14, Realm Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I played a lot of Final Fantasy.
I've played none, except weirdly enough, Final Fantasy Tactics, which I think is the only Final Fantasy game people don't like.
No, people love Final Fantasy Tactics. Unless which Tactics are you talking about? You're talking about the original one for like the PlayStation, or Final Fantasy Tactics Advance?
Advance.
On the Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy Advance, yeah.
Oh yeah, that one, the one with the judges. Boo.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? The only one I've played is the one no one likes, but I love the turn-based strategy, like Fire Emblem, Golden Sun, that kind of stuff. Love those games.
People just didn't like it because of the stupid judge system. It's like, okay, you have a judge here. It's like, you cannot use swords. Oh,
hey,
yay! Now
you're like, what are you talking about?
Penalty, and I might get thrown into jail.
Yeah, you get it.
Moving on here, we've got, oh goodness gracious, Alice Levelure. Perhaps, I apologize if I butchered that one. Legendary creature, elf wizard for 2 and a white. It is a 3/2. Partners with Alphinaud. It's got first strike and dual cast. The second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast.
Mrs. Bumbleflower bait.
Yes, most definitely.
Everything is Mrs. Bumbleflower bait.
Colonian Hydra is Miss Bumbleflower bait confirmed.
Yeah, if you're on the design team. I'll never forgive them. We have Alphinaud, whatever the last name Slothy just said. Oh, it's also Mrs. Bumbleflower bait. Partners with the Alice, has vigilance 2/4. It's 3 and a blue, and then it has Eucrasia. Yeah, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. Also very cool.
These both go very well in Bumbleflower.
Honestly, these also would be a really fun deck to just build.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love partner decks.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of legendary creatures in this Final Fantasy set because there's so many unique characters, and everybody wants to see the unique characters, right?
Well, that's kind of a Universes Beyond thing in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the problem with Final Fantasy is, like, you don't have, like, just, like, 4 or 5 main characters per, like, number. You have more, like, 6 to, like, 20, depending on it. And if you're talking about the online ones, then you have, like, 100 or so.
I don't even know what deck this one could be in based on what these ones are.
This one's off of...
This is the Final Fantasy 14.
Yushitola.
The Y'shtola deck?
Yeah.
It actually says right above the artist FFXIV.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun little thing to see here. FFX.
I've never played 14 that much, so I can't really say, but I can still say, like, which ones are based off which ones I haven't played.
Honestly, so far, like, again, I haven't really looked at the deck list. I just know kind of the general themes and stuff. Even based on this, like, first few we've seen, I would just want to rip these apart, kind of like the old Commander decks, and build them into their own new ones. I loved doing that before, but like I said, this Alice and Alphinaud, they look really, really fun to build. This set is full of, like, insane new artworks. Like, this Archfey Depravity is awesome. The Archmage Emeritus, the Altered Ego, Archaeos Man, they're great reprint artworks.
Yeah. Oh, I really want that Emeritus.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay. Next card. We have Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness, for 1 and a white and a black. It's a Spirit Warrior, 2/2 legendary creature. When you cast a white spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. they gain vigilance until end of turn. When you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain menace till end of turn.
That's sick.
Kind of fun.
That's really cool.
There's a lot of really cool Legends Matter commanders in this.
Oh yeah, but like the fact that like you can cast like I don't know like an Utter End or whatever, you know, and then boost all your legendary white and black creatures like, or actually it doesn't matter, just like all your legendary creatures get +1/+1, so they would get +2/+2 from that. They would get vigilance and menace. Like come on.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got Oron, Venerated Guardian. 3 and a white for a 2/5 legendary human spirit samurai with vigilance. It's got Shooting Star. Whenever Oron attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When you do, exile target creature defending player controls with power less than Oron's power until Oron leaves the battlefield.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, defending player controls. I like this a lot. We have one moment here. Sorry, dying. Austere Command reprint, Authority of the Consuls reprint, which is, again, just a lot of really cool looking artworks. That Austere Command is awesome. We have Avalanche of Sector 7, 2 and a red for a star 3 human rebel with menace. Avalanche of Sector 7's power is equal to the number of artifacts your opponents control. That's kind of fun. And whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact they control, it deals 1 damage to that player. I'm going to build this for my play group. They're all rampant artifacts nonstop. That actually puts in a ton of work in hating on artifact themed decks, because none of that. It's not a mana ability stapled onto this. This is just raw hating. I'm a fan.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of this as well, just because like the fact that like treasures are like, especially treasures, they're getting kind of outrageous. So it would be nice to see people being punished for having treasures in that sense.
Didn't even think about the sack and treasures, but yeah. Equipment, you're getting it. You're getting it from every angle in this.
Yeah, it doesn't say non-mana ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that one. Oh, that Baleful Strix artwork is killer. Yes, yeah, you get it.
Yeah. Being in progress reprint. Okay, we have the next one here. Bannon, the Returner's Leader for a Boros. Legendary creature, human cleric, rebel, is a 1/3. It has prey. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere other than the battlefield this turn. Interesting. When you attack, you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Hey, that's interesting.
I want to build this. This is very cool. Boros Clerics. I really like this. There's just a lot of really cool cards. This is the problem with doing the spoiler sets, is I constantly am like, well, I've got to build that. That's yesterday I started building 6 decks on the table because I saw like the Minstrel card. I saw that the new like Mill Hope Essel whatever. That one's annoying. That one's funny. I started building the Mono White Aerith. Like there's too many cards that I want to build in this set. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to pick up these commander decks a little bit, looking at them, but I know they're real pricey right now.
They are real pricey, especially for what you get.
Yeah, right. Like I hope they come down in price, but they're not going to. People are animals.
Yep.
They're not going to, and like everywhere that I know, it's like sold out from the pre-orders alone. Like they can't even fulfill some of them because they're shorted. So.
A lot of places that I've seen are full sold out of the commander decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had to rob my brother of his.
Moving on here, we've got Barrett, Avalanche Leader. 2 red-green for a 4/4 legendary human rebel with reach. It's got Avalanche. Whenever an equipment you control enters, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token. At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target rebel you control.
That's actually pretty cool. That actually seems kind of fun.
I love the Pokemon-style naming scheme they've decided to go with for moves recently.
Mm-hmm.
Or abilities, rather.
Yeah.
It's goofy.
Avalanche! Yeah, it's again, I'm a big fan of that, but that's like it's obvious Helm of the Host bait, because you wanna, every time an equipment enters, I make like 3 rebels. Every combat I get to attach 3 things to it. Like that seems pretty fun. And I like
one.
I was going to say, I like having green in an equipment deck so I can actually afford to put the stuff on. That Bastion Protector artwork is wonderful. So is the Battlefield Forge. Is this a new card, this Blitzball Stadium?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, then we read Blitzball Stadium. X in a blue. It's an artifact. When it enters, support X, put X/1/1 counters on one target creature, and then go for the goal. 3 and a tap until end of turn. Until end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for each kind of counter on it, and it can't be blocked this turn. Oh, that's pretty brutal for an Atraxa deck.
That seems fun.
hey, I hit you with 30 Atraxa damage. I'm gonna also draw a card. Cool. Yeah, that's a good card.
Yeah, nice to see Blitzball in here. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we have Blue Mage's Gain for 2 and a blue artifact equipment. It has the new mechanic called Job Select. So, this one has equipped creature gets +0/+2. Is a wizard in addition to its other types, and has, whenever this creature attacks, exile up to one target instant or sorcery card from defending player's graveyard. If you do, copy it. You may cast a copy by paying 3 generic mana rather than paying its mana cost. So that's really nice. It has equip cost of 2.
That's brutal.
That's fantastic. I love that.
It's brutal because of how quickly that can come down and drop onto a creature, and then you cast someone's like annoying like big banger kind of spell, you know? Again, like Peer into the Abyss. I love to Peer into the Abyss people, but getting Peer into the Abyss back myself, no Reliquary Tower, have to throw it all away.
Or someone casts like Expropriate, someone else calendars it, and then you get to Expropriate.
Oh yeah, someone else is you because you're in blue. This is mean.
I was hoping to get this one. Next one here, we've got Bugenhagen, Wise Elder, Bugenhagen.
I like Bugenhagen more.
1 and a green for a 1/3 legendary human shaman with reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, draw a card, and you can tap to add 1 mana of any color. I quite like this in Raga Draga.
We were talking, I think one of you guys put Ruby on a list somewhere. Is that what happened? Yeah, like one of you had Ruby in a deck, and then I saw the promo of Ruby, and I was like, I've got to build a Ruby deck. I was playing that this weekend on Thursday, and it's really fun to have, like, I went like all mana dorks, basically, and it's really, really fun, but I did drop a Raga Draga down. It was a great card.
Oh, absolutely. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of mana dorks out, but like the whole deck is mana dorks, and then like it's I think like a $30 deck. It's all garbage mana dorks, and then like fireball effects. And I had Raga Draga out, and I kept like I'd fireball for like 20 mana, untap like my clear cutter, which like gives it another 7/7, tap it for a bigger fireball. Like I was having a great time with it. Then I died horribly. Yeah, somebody hit me with a Meek Stone, shut all those dorks right down.
Oh.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's when you have to kill your own commander.
Right. Well, Raga Draga wasn't even the commander. I had to kill not Raga Draga, and I kept swinging, and everyone's like, no, I'll take it. Please. Please. I have to fireball for 3. We have Kate Sith Fortune Teller next. 3 and a red for Cat Moogle. That's silly artwork. It's a 3/3. It has lucky slots. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1. Then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile this card this way, target creature gets XO till end of turn, where X is the mana value. So just, again, kind of a dig. I wouldn't run this as a commander, sadly, but it looks so silly.
I would probably run it just because I've been playing around with a lot of top deck manipulation lately. So for things like as you can see here, I have my
Clamilton.
Alexander Clamilton.
I love it. I love Clamilton. Yeah, I guess that scry is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a scry one, so it's not bad. So
it's silly artwork. I could see myself wanting to build it.
I could see you like playing Final Fantasy VII and enjoying it if you like the artwork.
I feel like I should build this for Kaylin.
You'll probably enjoy it.
And she likes cats. She likes cats and being random.
Let's go on to the next one here. We have Champions from Beyond. It's going to be X double white. It's an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, straight X11 colorless hero creature token. It has Light Party. Whenever you attack with 4 or more creatures, try to then draw a card. It also has Full Party. Whenever you attack with 8 or more creatures, those creatures get +4/+4 until end of turn. That's really cool.
I think you all know this goes in Rigo.
You don't even have to say it.
You don't
yeah.
even have to ask. I've got to put this in Rigo decks. It makes 1/1s. It gives me a draw, and it's a pump for when I later on swing out with my Ornithopter army. Yeah. Yeah, it's going in Rigo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, that's a cool card.
Next one we've got here, I really like that Chasm Skulker artwork.
Yep.
But yeah, we've got the Chocobo Knights, 3 and a white for a 3/3 human knight. Whenever you attack creatures you control with counters on them, gain double strike until end of turn.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's mean.
Oh, too bad it wasn't legendary. That'd be fun.
True.
You have a Sharpie, do you not?
Yeah, that is fair. One of the decks that I was doing was the Brigade and the Sullen. I'm making another of the not legal partners for those Jumpstart commanders with Heroic. I think I've built 4 of them so far. I just really enjoy doing it. I'm doing auras now. Love it. Next we have our Sid Free Flyer Pilot, 1 and a white for 2/2 Human Warrior Pilot. Equipments and vehicles are 1 less. That's great. Jump during your turn, set as flying. Cool. 2 and a tap, return target equipment or vehicle from your graveyard to your hand. That's also wonderful.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, being able to recur stuff like that is very cool.
That we don't see repeating.
Yeah, I like that. Clever Concealment is also a reprint, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that
just a great scene in Final Fantasy VII where you had to dress Cloud up as a girl.
That's funny. The Cleansing Nova artwork is wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. It's so nice. The next card we have here is going to be Cloud's Limit Break for 1 and a white. It's an instant. It has something called Tiers. So choose 1 additional cost. You have either Cross Flash, which is only for 0, destroy target creature. You have Blade Beam for 1 mana, destroy any number of target tapped creatures with different controllers. And you have Omni Flash for 3 and a white, destroy all tapped creatures.
That's a great instant.
Not gonna lie, when I read out with different controllers, I was thinking about actual video game controllers. Like, why would anyone have an Xbox and a PlayStation controller next to like a Switch controller? I don't get it.
That's funny.
It's for when you have to fight what's his name, Mantis, and you have to take a different controller into the other port.
Oh yeah, for Metal Gear. Good lord. Psycho Mantis. Oh, that was an annoying fight. Good golly. Oh, the memories. Daniel's like, what the heck are you guys talking about?
I don't know any of these games. These weren't my games growing up.
Why are you fighting bugs?
Yeah, like the bug.
So just to let Daniel know what he's missing out on. So for Metal Gear, you have like Kojima, which is like a big guy like in the video game space.
Mm-hmm.
So he made Metal Gear, and one of the boss fights is this guy that's called Psycho Mantis, and he like basically in the game he looks at your save file and he's like, oh, I see you've played Final Fantasy, or I've seen you play Castlevania for like blah 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 blah. You're like, what the heck? And you're trying to play against him, and he knows all your moves and everything. And it turns out that you have to unplug your controller and plug it in to the second port, not the first port.
Yeah.
So then he can't read your mind, so you can beat him that way.
That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this was like back in the day, like in the 90s.
That's designed pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Anyway.
Yeah, next up here we've got the Coin of Fate. 1 and a white for an artifact. When it enters, surveil 1. 3 and a white and tap it to exile 2 creature cards from your graveyard. Sacrifice this artifact. An opponent chooses one of the exiled cards. Put that card in the bottom of your library and return the other to the battlefield tapped. You become the monarch.
That's awesome.
That's got a lot going on.
That is such a good card design for the storyline. Holy smokes. I like this a lot.
I just like that effect. I don't know the storyline. Do I gotta watch some Final Fantasy lore videos after this?
No, I can tell you everything.
There we go. I just have to come over for a beer.
So Coin of Fate is basically in Final Fantasy VI. You have the two brothers, Sabin and Edgar, and their father just passed away. So they're like, okay, we need to decide who's gonna be the new king. So Edgar's like, okay, we'll flip for it. And he flips the coin, and the coin says basically that Edgar wins. But Sabin didn't know this until later on that the coin had two heads on it, not a regular like head tail. It's like a trick coin, and Edgar chose himself to be king because he knew Sabin didn't want to be king. He wanted to be free and didn't want to be tied down to the kingdom. That's why he did it that way. But anyway, so yeah, like it's very, very, very to the story point.
Well, and then too in the artwork as well, that you can see that they're both heads like in the reflection.
Yeah.
I like that. That's very cool.
That's the thing, right? Like, yeah.
I like good flavor in cards.
I can literally talk for hours about Final Fantasy with you guys, or just video games and history in general. I know so much. It's so stupid. Anyway. Whose turn is it?
Is it me now? Is it this Conformer Shuriken?
Yes.
We've got 2 mana for the Conformer Shuriken. It's an equipment. Equipped creature has, whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. If that creature has greater power than this, put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the difference. That's mean. And equipped too.
Yeah.
This is very cool equipment, actually.
That's really nice. What's next?
That Crux of Fate artwork's cool.
Reprint on First Flail, reprint on the Jewel, Crux of Fate, reprint. Oh, Cyan's next one. Slothy, I think it's you.
No.
Yeah, should be you, Sherman.
Oh, okay, cool. Next one we have is Cyan, Vengeful Samurai, for 6 and a white. Holy smoke. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Human Samurai. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. It's a 3/3. Cast double strike. Whenever one or more creature cards leave their graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Cyan. Sweet.
I can't see how this one would be playable, personally.
Yeah.
I would just dump my... just send like a bunch of like weenie creatures out just to get slaughtered just to bring up Cyan.
But it's a lot of work for a 3/3 double striker.
It gets a +1/+1 for each whenever one or more creatures starts leave their graveyard. Like,
but that's what I mean. That's a lot of hoops to jump through.
I have an excuse to collect evidence more. Okay.
I guess that's fair. I guess the collect evidence mechanic is making a comeback. I don't know. I haven't been hating much in this set, but I am in this one for sure. I would cut this from any deck it was in, and be livid if this was my rare in a pack. That one's rough.
Yeah, it's spending like $100 for a collector pack only to get this as your rare.
I'd crash out. But it's foil.
Ooh. Next up here, we've got the Dancer's Chakrams. 3 and a white, 4 an equipment. It's got job select. So when this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach this to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has lifelink, and other commanders you control get +2/+2 and has lifelink, and is a performer in addition to its other types. And it has equip for 3.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Other commanders is interesting. So if you have it,
kind of reminds me. Sorry,
I was just gonna say if you have it on your commander, you don't get the buff on it. So you want it on not commander creatures for you.
Yes, 100%. Some nice reprints here. Dark Steel Plate is nice to see again, along with Dig Through Time.
Very cool art on Dig Through Time. We have Edgar, Master Machinist. 2/1 red, 1 white for 2/4 Human Artificer Noble. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an artifact spell from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters tapped. When Edgar attacks, it gets X till end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. That's great, because you can just throw away so many of those, like when this enters, draw a card, or like a commander sphere, throw it away, draw a card, keep getting it back. I really like that.
That's really sweet, yeah.
You can keep going through the...
What are you saying, Slothy?
You can keep going through with the Coin of Fate.
That is true. Let's flip that coin one more time. One more flip.
99% of gamblers stop right before they're going to win.
Exactly.
There you go.
I think it's you, Sherman?
Me. Yeah. It's going to be... Sorry, my computer froze up on it for a second. You got Elena Turk Recruiter. Elena Turk Recruit for 2 and a white. Legendary creature, human assassin is a 1/4. When it enters, return target non-assassin historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a historic spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Elena. Huh. Interesting.
This fits in very well with the Assassin's Creed stuff, because that was
100%. It totally does, you know.
It's an assassin.
Nope,
Everything in that cared about historics. Next up here, we've got Emmett Selch of the 3rd seat. 2 blue and a black for a 3/4 legendary elder wizard. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. And whenever 1 or more opponents lose life, you may cast target instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If that spell will be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Do this only once each turn.
Illegal pair with Muldrotha. No one will let me play that, but no, they won't.
No.
Yeah, man, that you got to be reasonable with your illegal pairings, and that one's not reasonable. But that's got to go in Muldrotha decks for sure. That's very cool.
See your little illegal Hobbit pairing that just gains life. That's cute.
We're
That's
okay
fine.
with that. That's fine.
Muldrotha and Emmett.
Muldrotha with cost reduction and access to instants and sorceries. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Not today. This is very cool. Endless Detours a reprint.
Mm-hmm.
Espers to Magicite. 3
That
and
is new.
Yeah, 3 and a black for... I like this artwork too. It's an instant. Exile each opponent's graveyard. When you do, choose up to 1 target creature card exile this way. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an artifact, and loses all other card types. Oh, that's cool. So like it's not a creature anymore. It just becomes like a rock.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of neat.
A Seedborn Muse rock.
No, but like, can you imagine doing something like okay, like you exile someone's graveyard, like, oh, I'll bring back a Bane of Progress to wipe everything out and put all the +1/+1 counters on it, but it can't attack because it's not a creature, it's just an artifact.
Surprise, rise and shine.
I like it. Yeah.
There you go.
I think that's a cool card.
Oh, next one.
It reminds me really quickly of like the Merkle deck, where the where your cards come back as like enchantments and not creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to put that in that deck, to be honest. I'm in the middle of making that deck too. All right. Too many cards I want from this set.
Are you ever going to cut down the amount of decks you have?
I don't understand these words. Don't know what you're saying.
All right. Moving on here. Moving on. We have Estinian Farlinu. Yeah, I don't know how to say this one either. So, for 2 and a white and a black, legendary creature, Elf Warrior, 3/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains flying until end of turn. At the beginning of your second main phase, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of your opponents who are dealt combat damage by him or a dragon this turn. Huh.
I also felt this was unplayable.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, these are not good dragon colors.
But that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it is the challenge. There's just so many good dragon options.
But you don't always have to go with the main line, right? You can always go on a side tangent. Like, that's why you have, like, jank decks. Like, I had this kind of like a mini discussion about this with my play group. Because someone's, like, taking apart some decks and building new ones. And they're like, I don't know what to build. I'm like, try building something just for fun. Your focus isn't to win. Your focus is just to have fun, right?
I mean,
Sometimes
I guess.
you do that. You just dive into... Sorry?
I said, I mean, I guess, but it's a lot. Again, it's a lot of hoops to jump through, like that Scion card.
But that's the point. That's the point. Sometimes you have to do that in order to gain a better understanding of cards and mechanics, right? So, like, an example I gave to my friend in our group chat was like Cast Desolate Mage, right? Where it says you can like each your turns you can like play or like cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard, for its flashback cost as whatever, right? So I'm saying, like, okay, I told him, like, look, you can do cast the traditional way where you just target only the instants and sorceries, and make them real powerful. Or, since we have the adventure mechanic with the new town in the main Final Fantasy set, and we also have, like, our Cure Dragonstorm with the Omen, you can cast the instants and sorceries for those. And then, like, if you cast an adventure, it just comes in the battlefield as an adventure. If you cast an Omen, it goes back to your library instead of going to exile, right? Because it only cares about if it's instant or sorcery while it's on the stack, not that it's card. So if we look at, like, the card before that, that lets us place, like, instant or sorcery cards from the graveyard. We can't do that with the new town or, like, anything with adventure or Omen, because it's looking for an instant or sorcery card, right? But you don't really get people that play like this if you're going for the main line for the best of the best. You want to have fun. That's the way to go, is to build something that, like, is not strong. You may win, you may not win, who cares? The point is just to experiment and have fun.
Yeah, like, I've had a Dimir Dragons deck put together since Baldur's Gate came out.
I mean, I guess.
I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be, like, optimal every single time. That's not the point. The point is to have fun.
Oh, no, I was saying Dimir Dragons, I guess. There's just too many not good dragon pairings. But does it go hard?
No. It does its thing sometimes, but
I love that. No. It's Dimir Dragons. It certainly is, but
not once in my statement did I say the pairings were going to be as good as, like, Miram.
That's all right. All right, you got me there. That's too funny. I think you're next year.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the Eye of Needhog. 2 and a black for a legendary enchantment aura. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature is a black there you go. Black dragon with base power and toughness 4/2, has flying, death touch, and is goaded. All right, this deck is now as powerful as Miram.
All right,
we
fair.
cracked it.
I spoke too soon. It's all, and then when it's put into a graveyard, return it to its owner's hand. That's a very cool, ever repeating enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to exile that legendary enchantment too. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have Fandaniel Talaferoi Asian. That's how I'm saying it. I'm not trying again. 4 and a black, legendary creature, Elder Wizard, 4/5. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery, you surveil 1. Cool. Beginning of each end step, each opponent may sack a non-token creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant or sorcery in your graveyard. That's mean. I would just run only.
Not me, but enough.
I'd run only mana rocks and, like, kill creature spells in this deck. You have nothing left to sacrifice.
Board wipe after board wipe after board wipe.
That's funny, yeah.
Like, how many board wipes are there in black? The Condemnation, Deluge.
1 or 2.
1 or 2-ish. What's the next one? Oh, wow. The new artwork for, like, Farewell and Phantom Mage are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, here it is. Next card here is going to be Fight Rigging for 2 and a green. It's an enchantment. It has Sideaway 5, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
I like it.
Rocket bait.
True, yeah. Kind of, yeah, to be honest. Oh, that Firelit Thicket artwork is very cool. So is the Flooded Grove.
Mm-hmm. Next card we got here is going to be Gata and Luzu. 2 and a white for a legendary human soldier. 1/1 with flash. When Gata and Luzu enters, choose target creature you control. If damage would be dealt to that creature this turn, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on it.
It's kind of cool. We have this Gao, Feral Youth. 1 and a red for a 2/2 human berserker. With rage, whenever Gao attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, Gao deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. That's cool.
Yeah. This is how I imagine you run when you hear somebody mention Rigo across the convention.
Yeah. Please.
There you go.
Yeah, me running to show them the Rigo cat build I've just made this week. It's my 9th Rego deck, please. I love this artwork of this next card.
Yep. General Leo Christoph. For 4 and white. Legendary creature, human soldier, 2/2. When it enters, return up to 1 target creature card with mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then put a +1/+1 counter on general for each creature you control. Whoa! Actually, that last sentence.
That's sick.
Sentence got me.
Well, because it's always going to be it's always going to be strong, and then you just run any kind of blink theme to continuously get it back and increase that. I like this.
Mm.
I like that a lot. I actually might build that as a blink deck.
Do it.
That's very
Like,
cool.
When it enters return, so like you get keep on blinking general. You don't care if if you blink the general, then you lose the counters, then you gain them back, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but then you get more when it comes back in.
Think about this. Yeah.
Also, just run Ozolith.
Then you have the Ozolith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Is Generous Patron new or no?
No.
Okay.
No, that's old.
Next, we've got here is Go-Go, Mysterious Mime. 3 in a red for a 2/2 wizard, legendary creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have Go-Go become a copy of another creature you control until end of turn, except its name is Go-Go Mysterious Mime. If you do, Go-Go and that creature get +2/+0 and have haste until end of turn, and attack this turn if able.
Huh.
I don't know if that's a commander-worthy creature. It's a lot of decks that it could go in. Very cool.
Yeah.
Because then it just gives you like a second commander on your turn, right? So like a second Veyran, a second Ishin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if it's part of the 99, it would be pretty good. As a commander, though, it's hard to say.
Yeah, as a standalone commander, I don't quite know, but there's a lot of decks. Again, this is giving you technically because it's not going to die to legend rule, right? It's a different legendary creature.
Yeah.
So I like that. Yeah, that's true. That's funny.
Next one, good. Highdigger, Shinra Executive. So it's me, 3 and white, legendary creature, human soldier, 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of soldiers you control. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of opponents who control more creatures than you. Huh.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this maybe being in like another deck once again, not as like the commander, but like maybe in something like a Caesar deck or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's very good in Biza, where you always want to do the catch up, the catch up kind of commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slothy.
Oh, should be you.
No, I'm before Sherman. I think we're out of order, but you take this one. We'll go back to our order.
Sure. Next up, we've got the Heli Trooper. 1 and a white for a 1/2 human soldier with flying. Whenever this creature attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. And equip abilities you activate that target this creature cost 2 less to activate.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Cheap body. It's already got evasion.
Yeah.
Something else evasion.
I like it. This Hellkite Tyrant artwork is very cool. So is this Herald's Horn.
I love the Herald's Horn artwork.
I really like this next card. This next card, I'm building 3 decks of this Hermes Overseer of Elpis. If that's how you say it? 3 and a blue for a 2/4 Elder Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get a 1/1 blue bird with vigilance and flying. And whenever you attack with 1 or more birds, you scry 2. I love this. I really, it's just Murmuring Mystic if it was better in the command zone.
Yeah.
What if Murmuring Mystic had really cool artwork and could be your commander?
Let's see. We got a nice needed high market reprint, which is really cool. Then we have, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my turn. It's Hildebrand, Manderville for 1 and a white. So it's a legendary creature, human detective. It's a 2/2. It has creature tokens you control get +1/+1. When it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. So the adventure part it has is going to be Gentleman's Ride for 2 and a black. It's an instant. It's an adventure. And you create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That's it.
I like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sweet.
Actually seems really fun to build. Like, again, this would be a nice cheap to build deck.
Mm-hmm.
You have a token generator. You can constantly cast it and get around the commander tax for it.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. It looks like they actually have decent lands in these decks too.
Yeah, from what I've heard, they've been better than previous precons. Yes, it's me, isn't it?
Hmm.
We've got Hraze Velgar of the First Brood. 4 and a blue for legendary Elder Dragon. 5/5 with Flying Vigilance Ward 2. Got Shiva's Aid. When Hraze Velgar enters, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked until end of turn.
That's cool. Makes it actually pretty easy to smash people with this commander as like almost like a mono blue Voltron.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Because you're pumping it up every time. Like you spam out like an opt, portent, like stuff like that. Brainstorm. It's now an 8/5 unblockable Flying Vigilance Ward 2. It's kind of cool. I might build that as just a mono blue, because again, you don't need to really run creatures. You just protect it with like your shore ups, your other things. I think the mono blue Voltron might be in the works. Yeah, there's no better way to confuse a play group than that.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I'll have to switch up my Cherix deck.
Cherix is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool new Inexorable Tide artwork. Same with Incubation Druid. We have Interceptor Shadow's Hound. 2 double black for legendary creature dog. 4/3 with menace. Again, this also seems like the Assassin's Creed kind of stuff. Assassins you control have menace. Whenever you attack with one or more legendary creatures, you can pay 2 and a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. That goes so well in the Assassin's Creed kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's sweet.
The Assassin Dog.
Got that dog in him.
Yeah, true.
Let's see here. I played Chapel. Ooh, hey, I get him. Fun time. We have Kefka, Dancing Mad for 5 and a black and a red. Legendary creature, human wizard, 6/6. During your turn, Kefka has indestructible. Nice. At the beginning of your at the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among cards exiled this way without paying a mana cost. Then each player who owns a spell you cast this way loses life equal to its mana value.
This card's amazing.
That's sincerely a disgusting card.
Oh, Kefka, you're so awesome. Oh, such a great villain. I love this card. This is fantastic.
Man, that's brutal.
It reminds me of what's the one? The same mana cost and everything, but like every time someone casts a spell, like you redirect it to, or you can target any thing.
Lord of Pain.
Yeah, there's Lord of Pain. There's Caravax. There's stuff like that.
Yeah, that's mean.
Next up here, we have Key Marie, Valiant Guardian. 2 green and blue for a 3/3 legendary cat warrior with vigilance. And, that writing is very small. I'm going to have to pull that up. Ronzo Rage. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Key Marie and tap target creature an opponent controls. Then you may have Key Marie become a copy of that creature, except it keeps the name and has vigilance and this ability.
That's really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I like decks like this because they play to the table.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, if you don't have annoying stuff, this isn't really a problem. Oh, I love this artwork. This next one's very cool. How do you say this? Is it Crilly? Cryle? All right. Cryle Baldesion. 1 white, 1 blue, 2/1 dwarf wizard. I love the types. It's got lifelink. Trace Aether. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can return target creature card with mana value equal to the spell's mana value from your graveyard to your hand. Do it only once each turn. I think that's really cool.
That seems really fun. Not gonna lie, that seems really fun.
Yeah, that seems like a very fun to play commander. Azorius Reanimator is interesting.
Yeah. Next one, that's Legions to Ashes. That's new, right?
I think that's a reprint, yeah.
Is that a reprint? Okay.
Yeah.
These little schemes I know is a reprint. Life Stream Blessing, that's new. So, for 4 double green, it's an instant. Draw X card where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast the spell. If this spell was cast from exile, you gain twice X life, and has Foretell for 4 in its green, Foretell for 4 in the green.
That's very cool.
It's solid.
I like that. I always like card draw, especially green kind of needs it a little bit here and there from time to time. That's not related to creatures, so it's kind of nice to see this.
Yeah, like that's not stapled onto a body. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not realized as creatures. But anyway, that's that point.
Next up here, we've got Lock, Treasure Hunter. 1 black-red for a 2/3 legendary human rogue. Lock can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. And it's got Mug. Whenever Lock attacks, each player mills a card. If a land card was milled this way, create a treasure token. Until end of turn, you may cast a spell from among those cards.
It's annoying. I like that.
Ooh, I like that a lot as well, especially since it's not in salt type color.
Yeah, it's it's unique to this effect.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. We have Lord Jiskel Guado. 1 and a white for a legendary creature spirit cleric. 2/1, flying at the beginning of each end step. If you put a counter on a creature this turn, investigate. It's all right.
Ooh.
I like that.
Oh, nice. I get Lulu, Stern Guardian for 2 and a blue. Legendary creature, human wizard. It's a 2/3. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking you. Put a stance counter on that creature. And then for 3 and a blue, you proliferate. I just like the fact that you proliferate at will.
Yeah, you're never untapping that creature if you attack me.
Yeah.
Next one here we've got is Lee's Hext. 1 white-blue for 2/2 legendary human rebel monk with prowess. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and as long as you've cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, Lee's Hext has double strike.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Prowess can get out of hand pretty quickly. I have learned this. I need to respect prowess more. Nah.
You can have a little of +1/+1 as a treat.
As a treat. We have Meister Seymour. 2 and a green for a 1/3 human elf cleric. I like the types. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to Meister Seymour's power on another target creature you control. Awesome. And then 3 double green, Monstrosity X, where X is the number of counters among creatures you control. That's really fun, actually.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Next one. You get Moogle Warrior for 1 in a Boros. Legendary creature, Moogle Warrior for a 1/2 has lifelink. It has dance. So, at the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discarded a card this way draws a card. If a creature card was discarded this way, you create a 1/2 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. Then, if a non-creature card was discarded this way, put a +1/+1 counter on each Moogle you control.
I love it.
What build this?
I love it. Yeah, I'm very into this one. This is super cool.
That's so sweet. And it's Moogles. I love Moogles. They're so cute.
We're dancing at the end step. Yeah.
Brave party.
Yeah, you get it.
Next up here, we've got Oaka, Traveling Merchant. 1 and a blue for a 1/2 legendary human citizen. You can tap to remove a counter from a non-land permanent you control and draw a card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's the anti-sagas one, right? You just keep taking things off and keep your sagas going.
Yeah.
I like it. Is Observe Stasis next?
Yes.
Yeah.
3 and a blue, we've got an enchantment aura with flash. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When it enters, remove enchanted creature from combat, then draw a card for each tapped creature its controller controls. It loses all abilities and can't attack or block. Oh, that's a brutal card.
Actually, this is interesting. They made a I haven't fully read the release notes for it, but they were talking about because with the things like the sagas being in creatures as well now, that they had to make a change to the rules where if you have something like Observe Stasis or like something like Dress Down, where creatures lose all abilities. So with a saga, if at any point in time before it loses like 6 counters, it basically gets destroyed or something like that. And they made a change where like if it loses all abilities, like it loses all the chapters and everything, right? So once it loses all the chapters, it basically doesn't become a saga anymore. That saga is basically done or something like that. And like it would basically get destroyed. So they had to change it where they were saying like if it's a saga creature, it would still keep saga subtype, but as a creature it would stay. It wouldn't just get destroyed regardless. And
it doesn't get sacrificed now?
Sorry?
Like the creature won't get sacrificed and destroyed now?
Yeah, it will not get sacrificed.
Hmm.
So this changes the ruling with things like Blood Moon and Urza Saga. So now that like if Blood Moon's out, Urza Saga doesn't go away anymore. It doesn't get destroyed. That stays there as whatever it is. So I have to look up the. Like,
yeah, I've got to learn on that one.
Yeah, that's like basically the Cliff Notes in a sense. So I don't know the exact ruling for it yet. So I haven't had time to read. It's been a busy week for me at work.
Fair. That's very cool though. Oh, I'm excited to get this next one because again, I love the artwork of these dwarf wizards. They're great. Papalimo Totolomeo. Think I said it wrong? Don't care. This is a white and a black for a 1/2 dwarf wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. I really like that. 4 and a tap, sack Papalio Totolomeo, whatever. Each opponent who lost his life this turn sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control.
Huh.
Hear me out. You must let me pair this with the other dwarf wizard, with the Krylai that lets me reanimate. Let me have my pairings.
No, that's too strong.
They're dwarf wizards. They're half the commander they should be.
If you really think about it, all dwarves should have partner.
Yeah, I'm stacking these commanders. It's 1 legal commander in a trench coat.
I was just about to say you got to have an altar that's just both of their text boxes, but the art is them in a trench coat for it to work.
That's really funny.
There you go.
Wow, they've got a lot. I also, real talk though, I love the artwork on this card. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like in a foil, this is gonna go very, very hard. This set has been phenomenal for the artworks.
Next one we have is going to be Priest of Spell, right?
No, that's
a reprint.
Yeah, reprint here.
Oh, okay. Professional Space Breaker reprinted, which is nice. That's needed. Oh, Professor Hojo. Okay, I get him. All right. It's going to be 1 in the green. Legendary creature. Human Scientist. 2/2. The first activated ability you activate during your turn that targets a creature you control costs 2 less to activate. Sweet. Perfect for equip. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control becomes target of an activated ability, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. They learned from Nadu.
I mean, kind of, but this is unironically one of the best equipment commanders I've ever seen.
That's besides the point. They learned from Nadu.
Yeah. Again, you have like, I'm going to put like Sword of Light and Shadow on for free and draw a card. That's really good. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Next up here, we've got Protection Magic. 1 and a white for an instant. Put a shield counter on each of up to 3 target creatures.
Honestly, that's really cool.
Yeah, can't complain.
A lot of really cool, like reanimate, reprint, pure steel.
The art on that reanimate.
Yeah, the Rampant Rejuvenator is also great. Reaper Scythe is our next new one here. 2 and a black. It's another equipment with job select, which I think that's the makes a creature when it comes in, right? Or does it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes a 1/1.
Beginning of your end step, put a soul counter on this equipment for each player who lost life this turn. Cool. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each soul counter on this equipment and is an assassin in addition to its other type. And it has equipped for 2. That's really, really cool. So every turn, if you're like table draining, your creature goes up +3.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of your end step.
Yeah.
Golly.
Thank you here, Sherman.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. We got Red 13, Proud Warrior for 1 in a red and a green. Legendary creature, Beast Warrior. 3/3. It has Vigilance and Trample. Other modified creatures you control have Vigilance and Trample. Has Cosmo Memory. So when Red 13 enters, return target aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand.
I like it. It's kind of cool.
Not bad.
That's a new one. Next one here we've got is Rejoin the Fight. 5 and a black. It's a sorcery. Mill 3 cards, then starting with the opponent next in turn order. Each opponent chooses a creature card in your graveyard that hasn't been chosen. Return each card chosen this way from the graveyard to the battlefield under your control.
It's pretty good.
Sorry, the reading was hard. That card's insane.
Yeah, reanimate 3 for 6. That's pretty good.
Reanimate.
Yeah. Holy smoke.
Yeah. 3 for 6, and it has to be different things.
I like that.
This is going to go right in the meep.
And especially as well, you can politics pretty easily with this, right? Pick this, I won't swing it at you.
Yeah.
Pick this, or I swing everything at you.
That's funny as well.
That works too.
The Resourceful Defense is another cool artwork. We have Riku, Resourceful Guardian next. 2 and a blue for a 2/3 Human Artificer. Whenever you put one or more counters on a creature until end of turn, that creature can't be blocked by creatures your opponents control, which is awesome. And then it has Steal. 1 to tap, move a counter from target creature an opponent controls onto target creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. That's funny.
Give me those finality counters, Slothy.
Yoink.
I want those finality counters.
No.
That seems interesting, though. That seems fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, new artwork for Bright Replication. Let's see. Rune Grinder, that's a reprint. Renews Ultimatum, that's a reprint. But, that artwork. Ooh.
I was going to say that's very cool artwork.
Yeah.
Kefka's
we
such
have
a cool
Saban. Sorry?
I just think Kefka's so cool.
That's the clown?
Kefka is such an interesting character. It's just because, like, he's just a bad person. You learn to love it to hate him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like, he has no real like reason to be evil. He's just evil.
He just wants to.
He just hates. He just has hate in his heart.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. He's the like really, really, really like degraded and mean and all that stuff. He's just, fun fact of the whole series, he's technically the first character to actually kind of speak because he just laughs, and that's like the first time you kind of like have a character speak in the game.
yeah.
So anyway, Final Fantasy X is the first time they have voice actors, but yeah, like technically speaking, Kefka was the first time like they had someone speak. Anyway, moving on here, we have Saban, Master Monk, for 4 and a red. Legendary creature, human noble monk, 4/3. It has double strike, has flip. For 2 double red, you discard a card. And you may cast this card from your graveyard using its blitz ability. Whoa, that's interesting.
I think this is objectively horrible. I can't see a use for it.
It's fun.
I don't play blitz or the dash stuff, right? So
Yeah, but the fact that you can like cheat it up from your graveyard to like recast it. So like you have things like let's say like you have like a Hero's Blade on the battlefield, right? It gives a +3/+2, but like whenever a creature enters, you can attach it to that creature right away. So your Saban becomes like a 7/6 or sorry, a 7/5 double strike.
I guess that's true, yeah, because you are avoiding commander tax, and every creature I've seen with a way to avoid the commander tax is breakable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't care. Like I'll just bring it back. I'll attack you. It has double strike, so like I said, with the Hero's Blade, like there's other equipment out there that auto attach to creatures when they enter. That's only equipment. You're not even including like other things that will like double or their power or increase Saban's power, right? So like if you look back in the day, like the Orcish Work Flame, like for 3 and a red enchantment, it gives all your creatures +1/+0. Fine, it's a bad enchantment, but still, like having stuff like that, so like you make your Saban like a 5/3 instead with double strike. That's still 10 damage.
That's fair. I got caught up looking at this next one. I think it's you, Slothy.
Yeah. Next one here is Sephiroth, Fallen Hero. 3 a red and a white for a 7/5 legendary human avatar soldier. Genova Calls. Whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature until end of turn. Each modified creature you control has base power and toughness 7/5. And the Reunion. For 3 mana, you can sacrifice a modified creature to return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
That's pretty insane.
I don't mind that one.
I like that one a lot. I think that's crazy. Turn your 1/1s with like 1/1s with a 1/1 counter on it into 7/5s with a counter on it, so it's 8/6s.
Using all the Glimmer Wasp or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I like that one. We have Setzer Wandering Gambler. 1 black, 1 red for a 2/2 human rogue pilot. When it enters, you create the Blackjack, a legendary 3/3 colorless vehicle artifact token with flying and crew 2. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, you flip a coin. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 tap treasures. I like that a lot. I love to flip coins.
Oh, so random. All right. We finally get to Shadow, Mysterious Assassin for 2 and a black. Legendary creature, human assassin, death touch, 3/3. It has throw. Whenever Shadow deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrifice permanent. Wow.
I like that.
I like that a lot. They should have made him partner with his dog, the Interceptor.
With the dog.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that feels like a lost opportunity.
Yeah, because you bring the dog back. I say run it that way.
Yeah.
If it's on flavor, it's on theme. Except for the Muldrotha pair. I can understand that one. But if it's normally on flavor and it's reasonable, and I think this is reasonable, just a man playing with his dog. What's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next up here we have Shalinda Yavon Acolyte. Green-white for a 2/2 legendary human cleric with lifelink. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. If its power is less than Shalinda's power, otherwise put a +1/+1 counter on Shalinda.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's sick. There's another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If power is less than, otherwise put a... That's really, really interesting. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. We have Siegfried, Famed Swordsman. 3 and a black for a 2/2 human warrior rogue with menace. When Siegfried enters, mill 3 cards, then put X/1/1 counters on Siegfried, where X is twice the number of creature cards in your graveyard. That's huge.
That's sweet.
I like that. That really scales with the game.
Yeah, 100%. I like commanders that scale with the game. So, like, as it goes on, it gets stronger and stronger. And this is definitely one of those. Okay, next card we have here is going to be Sin, Unending Cataclysm for 5 and 0. Green and a blue, legendary creature, Leviathan, Avatar. It's a 5/5. That's flying, trample. As Sin enters, remove all counters from any number of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Sin enters with X+1/+1 counters on it, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When Sin dies, put its counters on target creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Yo, Dark Depths, anyone?
Didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's
shoot.
Thing in the Ice, yeah.
The Thing in the Ice will just like flip it and like force you to return everything back to your hand anyways, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Then I can just keep bouncing this every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can throw all the counters on it onto the thing on the ice, and then attack people because they'll be stupid big because it's already at 7/6 when it flips, right?
Yeah, I hit you for 700. Response. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Next one here is gonna be Snort. 3 and a red for a sorcery. Each player may discard their hand, then draw 5 cards. Then Snort deals 5 damage to each opponent who discarded their hand this way, and it's got flashback for 5 and a red.
Honestly, I like that.
Yeah, it's alright.
Quite a bit as well.
Yeah, in Commander, I would oftentimes trade 5 damage for 5 cards. Yeah, that's very cool. We have the Soldier Military Program, 2 and a white. It's an enchantment at the beginning of combat on your turn. Choose one. If you control your commander, you choose both. You can create a 1/1 soldier creature token or put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 soldiers you control. I like that. That's a very good soldier card.
I really like that. Oh, does it make me kind of want to build General Mustard?
I love that card, yeah.
Ooh, I like the new Sad Robot artwork. That's really cool. We have the Seer Grid for 1 and a green. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. It has unlockability. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have reach and trample. Yo, for 2 mana?
That's a great card.
It's pretty solid.
That's sick.
Next up, we've got Strago and Realm. 2 in a red for a 1/3 legendary human wizard. Sketch and Lore. 2 in a red and tap it. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant, sorcery, or creature card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice this creature. Activate only as a sorcery.
I love this card. I want
Card seems really fun.
I want to build this and just keep asking people, what are we playing? This, the Chaos Wand, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Atali. I'm going to build this deck today. I hope that these are easy cards to get, by the way, all these commander ones, not just in the commander deck. I hope there's lots pulled.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good luck.
We'll see in a bit.
All right.
In 2 weeks.
We have a Summoner Sending, 1 and a white for an enchantment. Beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature card from a graveyard. If you do, create a 1/1 spirit creature with flying. Put a 1/1 counter on it if the exiled card's mana value is 4 or greater. That's cool. Easy to control other people's graveyards with and generate tokens. Cheap enchantment.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a big name. Okay. We have Summon Esper Veligarmanda. Veligarmandia. Or something like that. I cannot pronounce. Whatever. Okay. For 3 in a red, it's a saga. Okay. It's a 3. No, this is what I mean. It's an enchantment creature saga Drake. It's a 3/3. It has flying haste at the very bottom. You see its abilities there. It has 4 chapters. First chapter is exile an instant or sorcery card from each graveyard. In chapters 2, 3, and 4 are add a red mana for each lore counter on this saga. You may cast an instant or sorcery card, exile this with this saga, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
That seems really, really fun. It's, you know what? This reminds me of the fact that they made like creatures into sagas. It kind of reminds me of the mechanics of like fading.
Yep.
That's what fading, right? Because like a creature would come in with like, let's say like 4 fading counters, and then you would take it down, and then it would go away. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
I honestly might make this next card a commander. It just seems really fun. I don't really like to follow the rules of commander. I feel like that's a pretty obvious thing at the moment. I just like to build decks. I've built so many decks that now I'm into the realm of theoretical. But it's again, I really like that. Generally speaking, I'll let people play whatever they want if they think it's creative. I think this next card is creative, and it would pass the is it unique test, right? The Summon Good King Mog, is it 12? Yeah. So I don't know if it's my turn, but I'm taking it because I like it. 4 and a white for a 4/4 enchantment creature saga Moogle, flying lifelink. First chapter. You create 2/1 white Moogle creature tokens with lifelink. Then 2 and 3, whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a token that's a copy of a non-saga token you control. And then 4, put 2 1/1 counters on each other Moogle you control.
Yeah.
I've got to build it.
Yeah.
I'll take this next one. We've got Summoning Materia. 2 and a green for an artifact equipment. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. An equipped creature gets +2/+2, vigilance, and tap to add green, and it has equip for 2.
That's good.
I don't know about you guys, it feels like such an insult when they're like, this creature gets like +2/+2 and vigilance, and oh, by the way, it taps for mana. That's like, okay, like the fact that they gave it vigilance like means like, okay, I can attack with it, but when they don't do that, it's just like, what's the point? Okay, next one. Oh man, we're just hitting on the summons, I guess. Yeah, so we have Summon Ixion for 2 and a white. It's a 3/3 first strike. Enchantment creature saga unicorn. So it has 3 chapters. First chapter, exile target creature an opponent controls until this saga leaves the battlefield. And then you have chapters 2 and 3. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. You gain 2 life.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Side tangent, just for fun. Daniel, you have extra stifle.
Huh? Like the card
You
stifle?
have, like, extra stifle. Because what this reminds me of, and I don't know how many people know this, like, because stifle is basically 1 blue and you counter target activate or trigger ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you guys, but in my play group, sometimes people play things where like you have the delay trigger where like, once this leaves play, return target like permanent or whatever or creature.
Yeah, the rune stifle, yeah.
Yeah. So and that's why I don't have a stifle because of that. So but that's what it reminds me of. That's why I'm like side tangent, like anyone that doesn't know, stifle is really fun for doing that, especially if like you exile someone's commander and they're like, yeah, I'll leave an exile, and they'll remove that one card and they'll try to bring back their commander from exile. It's like, oh no, I'll stifle that. Now you're out a commander for the whole game. It's mean, but it's fun.
True. You take the next one here too, Slothy, by the way, because I stole yours.
Sure. Next up we've got Summon Kujata. 5 and a red for a 7/5 elemental or enchantment creature, Saga Ox with trample and haste. First lore counter is why is that a toss as writing so small? First one is lightning. This creature deals 3 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. Then the second one's ice. Up to 3 target creatures can't block this turn. And then fire for the third one. Discard a card, then you draw 2 cards. When you discard a card this way, this creature deals damage equal to that card's mana value to each opponent.
That's cool.
I like that.
We have Summon Mage's Sisters, a 4 and a green, 5/5 with haste, Saga Fairy. You choose one at random for 1, 2, and 3. So combined powers, you put 3/1/1 counters on target creature. Defense, put a shield counter on target creature, gain 3 life. Or fight, this creature fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Yep. I like that. I like this artwork a lot. It's cool.
That's an interesting design. I really like this one. That's really cool. I guess next one is me. We have Summon Valfor. So it's a 4 and a blue. It's a 5/4 flyer. That's a enchantment creature, Saga Drake. Okay, so it has 4 chapters. First chapter, Sonic Wing. Each opponent chooses a creature with the greatest mana value among creatures they control. Return those creatures to their owner's hand. Simple. But then 2, 3, and 4. Tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it.
That's useful.
Yeah.
It's useful, but
next up here, we've got the Summon Yajimbo. 3 and a white for a 5/5 enchantment creature, Saga Samurai with Vigilance. And I'm going to have to pull this one up again. The first chapter, exile target artifact, enchantment, or tapped creature an opponent controls. 2 and 3. Until your next turn, creatures can attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each of those creatures. And then 4, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of opponents who control a creature with power 4 or greater.
That's a great, ghostly prison effect.
That's fun.
That is very cool. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of new... That Sunscorch Regent goes hard.
Yeah, that's cool. For anime.
Yeah, we have Tataru Taru, 1 and a white, 0/3 Dwarf Advisor. When Tataru Taru enters, you draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Love this. Scion Secretary. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, create a tap treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. I like this a lot.
I want to build this one so bad.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So much fun.
Yeah, I just want to help people draw. I like this.
Can you imagine this in CEDH where everyone's casting things on other people's turns?
That's cool. I like this.
Let's see here. What we have next? We have Thancred Waters for 4 and a white. Legendary creature, human warrior, 3/5. It has flash. It has Royal Guard. When it enters, another target legendary permanent you control gains indestructible for as long as you control this card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Well, this card gains indestructible until end of turn. Can't pronounce nothing today.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very hard to remove. Again, probably not the commander, but a great card in the command, like the command zone. Or in the 9.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got the Falcon, Airship Restored. 2 and a black for a 4/3 legendary artifact vehicle with flying. Whenever the Falcon deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And for 4 and a black, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and it has crew 4/2.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like this card. This is very cool. And I learned a cool rule interaction with it. So this is the Warring Triad. It's 3 mana for a legendary artifact creature god 5/5 with flying, trample, haste. That's pretty crazy. As long as there are fewer than 8 cards in your graveyard, it isn't a creature. And then it has tap, mill a card, target player adds 1 mana of any color. And because it has target player, this does not count as a mana ability, which is weird.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so mana abilities are something they can't target, or they're a mana ability. But again, this is a very cool commander option, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, we have Commander Sphere at home.
Literally. Okay. New Tireless Tracker reprint. Together Forever.
That's a reprint too. Yeah.
Tome of Legends, that's a reprint. Torrential Gearhulk, look at that. Oh, that's so nice.
I think Transpose is the next one.
Transpose is the next one, yeah.
Yeah. So 2 and a black. It's an instant. Draw a card, then discard a card. You lose 1 life. If this spell was cast from your hand, create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it has rebound.
I like that a lot. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That seems fun.
Next up, we've got Tromo, Seymour's Butler. 2 and a green for 2/3 legendary creature Elf Advisor. Each other non-token creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. And you can pay 1 and tap to proliferate X times, where X is the number of non-token creatures you control that entered this turn.
That's wild. That's a lot of proliferating for 1 mana.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a problem.
So new Elf Commander?
Yeah, that's...
Or new Elf Ball Commander?
Yeah, I think of just Atraxa, and Atraxa doesn't need a proliferate X cards commander. Or card.
No.
We have Ultimate Magic Holy. 2 and a white. Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn. If this spell was cast from exile, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn, and then it has Foretell for 2 and a white.
Nice. So it's like worse Fairy's Protection.
Yeah. I really like that you can just threaten it, though. I love to threaten the table and stuff. I would have that in Foretell the whole time, be like, go ahead, but it's happening.
Well, they won't now, because they won't know, because Foretell is like you
Oh, face down. Right? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So it's not like Adventure.
Come at me, bro. Yeah.
We do have the opposite here. There's going to be the Ultimate Magic Meteor. That's going to be 5 in a red. That's a sorcery. Meteor deals 7 damage to each creature. If this spell was cast from exile, for each opponent, choose an artifact or land that player controls. Destroy the chosen permanent, and it has Foretell for 5 in a red.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Then we've got Umaru, Raging Yeti. 5 in a red for a 6/6 legendary Yeti Berserker with Trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose 1 at random. Other creatures you control get +3/+0 and Trample until end of turn. Discard your hand, draw 4 cards. Or Umaru deals 5 damage to any target.
That's sick. I really like that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really sick commander.
Yeah, the pump, the removal, like the 5 damage any target bolt, or the discard your hand, draw 4. I love each of those. That's a really cool option. Unfinished Business is a reprint, right?
Yes.
I think so. So
Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have the next one here. Uranger or Algarel. I don't know. It's a white and a blue legendary creature elf advisor. That's a 1/3. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you gain 2 life. It has draw, Arcanium. You tap it, look at the top part of your library. You may exile it face down. You can also tap it, and until end of turn, you may play cards, exile with it. Spells you cast this way cost 2 less to cast.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, no, wait. Let me think about this for a second. So, if I exile something, and then someone kills him as my commander, and I recast him, I can't cast that exile card because that card was exiled by a different version of it, in a sense, or not?
Yes.
So they're just trying to think of it if it's sort of like Rona.
I wonder if there's any rules.
That I know some cards you can do that and some cards you can't. That's the problem I have, right? So, sorry for everyone. The relationship only belongs to the permanent in play. Okay, that works out. Thanks, Thunder. It helps to have people in the chat. If it leaves, then it's lost. Yeah. Okay, so that is the way it is. Okay, cool. So I'm not wrong. So you have to be careful with this one. Fun.
I think it's you here, Slothy.
Do you want to take this one? We got all switched up. I'm the one who read the Yeti.
Okay, yeah, I'll take Vincent, Vengeful Atoner, 2 in a red. Legendary creature, assassin, 3/3 menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on Vincent. Then Chaos. Whenever Vincent deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent if Vincent's power is 7 or greater. That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then we've got Waka, Devoted Guardian. 2 green-white for a 4/4 legendary human warrior with reach and trample. Whenever Waka deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact that player controls and put a +1/+1 counter on Waka. And at the beginning of your end step, if a counter was put on Waka this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
That's cool.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That Walking Ballista artwork is cool.
Yeah, so cool. Wrecking Ball Arm. Oh, is it me here?
Yeah, you take it. I'll go after you.
Yeah. Wrecking Ball Arm for 2 mana. Legendary artifact. It's an equipment. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 7/7 and can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Equipped legendary creature for 3 mana, or if it's non-legendary or regular equipped cost, it's going to be 7.
I like it.
Not bad.
We have Yuffie, Materia Hunter. 2 in a red for a 3/3 human ninja with ninjutsu, 1 in a red. When Yuffie enters, gain control of target non-creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie. Then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got Yuna's Decision. 3 and a green for a sorcery. Choose 1. Continue the pilgrimage. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, draw a card. Then you may put a creature card or a land card, or a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Or find another way. Turn up to 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand.
That's so good.
I really, really enjoy this.
That's pretty sweet.
For 4 mana, I can just throw away a Llanowar Elf and put out like a Ulamog.
Yeah.
And
Ulamog
a land?
And a land.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. Next one. To me, Yuna's Whistle for 1 double green is an instant. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on or into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When you reveal a creature card this way, put a X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the mana value of that card. Huh.
I like that. That's strong.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, I think that's our last one.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. That was our last one. Holy smoke.
We got there. I'm looking through. There's insane new artworks, though, for the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for anyone that's a Final Fantasy fan, this is like a huge dream come true kind of sense, in a sense. Like there's so much out there, like all the artwork and everything, like from so many key like scenes and moments in the games. It's just insane.
I love the multiple secret rendezvous artworks. I think those are really cool.
That was, oh my god, that was such fun yet annoying thing to do in Final Fantasy VII. Like, so, like, you know how, like, you have, like, different branches and, like, choices and all that stuff that you can do things, especially in Final Fantasy VII, you have, like, different love entries between Earth and right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when we were younger, we used to be like, oh, what if let's make a save file for this character going for this one, and then we'll continue playing, and then we'll play it again at this point and choose this person and see if it changes the outcome. It never changed the outcome, but
That's
you
funny.
didn't know that when you were young playing these games.
The Soul Rings as well are all phenomenal artworks.
Everything looks fantastic. Everything looks so nice.
Yeah, like they really did a good job. Even if I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, right? But the artwork is undeniably great on all of these cards. Like it looks very cool. Again, like I said, I'm not a fan of like the SpongeBob, the Spider-Man kind of things. The Marvel things I'm not as much of a fan of even. But I like something that feels like it could fit in universe. This feels like it can fit in universe still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through here on the video and you can see there's tons of great artworks, yeah. I guess
really looking forward to hopefully find one of these commanders decks. I don't care which one it is. I just want to buy at least one if I can.
Got to find them somewhere, right?
I'm looking forward to this set quite a bit just because I grew up with Final Fantasy. Like, Daniel, I know you said you've never played it, but like, Slothy, have you played any of them before?
Yep. I've played that's a decent amount of them.
Fair.
I
think they did a great job for this.
True. I was gonna say really quickly, do either of you have like a favorite from this, like something you have to build from these cards we talked about today?
Slothy, do you have any choices?
Damn it. I was hoping you would go first so I could have a second to relook through. There's a lot of cards here.
No problem.
I can go. I can go first.
Like, I'm going to choose like every single one of these.
No, I do have 3 in particular. Number 1 is I have to build this like the Krill and the Papalimo thing. I've got to illegal pair those. I have to build the Saga one, the Summon the Good King Moog. Mm-hmm. Or Good King Mog. I think that's just really funny. But the one not like the one that is an actual commander is I kind of want to build this whatever you called the blue elder dragon thing. I'm not trying to pronounce that.
Raisvulgar?
Yeah, Raisvulgar, whatever it is. Yeah, I want to build this Voltron, this mono blue Voltron dragon. I think I could really wreck house with this thing. No one sees mono blue Voltron coming.
That's true.
No one expects it. Oh, and also the Baron. I also want to build that the clerics, the Boros clerics. I got a few that I wanted to build. There. Now you guys have had your time.
I kind of want to. Well, I want to build the Moogle Warrior one, but Lulu's interesting because of the proliferate. Like I've never really built a Super Friends deck before. That would be like an interesting way of doing it, because then like it's easy to proliferate and just ultimate all your your planeswalkers, especially if you have like infinite mana. Let's face it, like we don't play with infinite combos, but we had infinite mana and just like ultimate like all your planeswalkers. That would just be devastating.
Yeah.
So, those ones would be something I would probably make. And yeah, like maybe Kefka, just because it's Kefka.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think either Kefka or Hildebrand. I am a massive fan of aristocrats and graveyard styles. Hildebrand kind of hits both of those for me, and Kefka just seems like a lot of fun.
The Hildebrand does seem wicked. Kefka seems mean.
Well, he does.
Okay, listen here, Mr. Muldrotha.
Hey.
I do not want to hear about what sounds mean.
I'm just saying. I would love to. Again, like I said, I'm pretty convincing. I'm a pretty smooth talker, especially when we're about to play games. I'm very convincing in the politics, but there's no one I can convince like I couldn't convince a dead player to let me play that Muldrotha pairing. Yeah, that one's too much. Again, like it was like I said when I initially like started like making these illegal pairings. You can't be like, I do Dockside Extortionist and what's the blue card? Wandering Wayfarer. Not Archaic. What's the one that blinks it?
No.
I can't remember. It's been too long since I've played those things.
Yeah.
Soul Bond blue card. Other people.
Deadeye Navigator.
Deadeye Navigator. Yeah, you can't pair those two. You got to be reasonable with your things. But there's a ton that I want to. I really like the Mrs. Bumbleflower bait commanders too. The two partners there.
Yeah,
I think they'd be really fun. There was a surprisingly, from what I've seen from both sets, there's a large amount of Azorius stuff I really like that's not in the traditional Azorius styling. Like it's not your traditional stacks like deny resources things. It's like again, there's the one that is whenever you gain life you mill. That is a unique commander for sure. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
But even those two again, I want to play 2 spells a turn commanders. I think those are really cool. Yeah, I just like both of them. I'm happy to wrap us up there at the I think over 2 hour mark for when we start the video.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been over 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been yapping. But
that's my bad. That's my bad.
No, that's okay. Again, I actually like learning a lot of this Final Fantasy kind of stuff. But let me thank you for getting through our YapFest 2025. I want to thank everyone who gets through these episodes, listens, likes, shares, subscribes. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support us, that's the easiest way to do so. If you want to go above and beyond that, come over to Patreon, talk about deck builds, try explain to me why I shouldn't keep making illegal pairings. I'll probably not listen, but you can at least make your argument there. Also, come tell me how to pronounce words properly over on Patreon. I guess that could be a new spot for it too. I will no longer listen to pronunciations in the YouTube comments. If you're looking for any of these cards, go to houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. That's going to get you a great discount. They've got wonderful stock. It supports us. It gets you cheap cards. It supports a wonderful business. They're awesome to work with. So yeah, go over there and throw these new decks in these AI armor sleeves. It's a company that does lots of cool stuff for players. I love their sleeves. I just love everything about the company. So that's it. Other than that, let us know what you want to build from this and kind of what cards you're excited for. Again, I don't know much of the Final Fantasy story, so it was cool learning about it and seeing that. I'm excited to learn a little more of it. So yeah, I let us roll there. I'm going to pair the two dwarf wizards together. It's happening. They seem so fun. Bye, everyone.
All right, later.
See ya.